Welcome, what is up? Thank you for tuning back into the Chaos Lair. Of course, I'm Chris Chaos here with your Wrestlemania 33 review. Now, for those that care, I went 9-4 on my predictions. It is what it is. I missed every one of the pre-show matches. I was wrong. I take full responsibility for those. The tag titles, I don't. When they changed the match at the last minute, that match no longer counts toward what I said was going to happen, or from what I had on paper that they promoted, for several weeks. So, and I don't like them coming in and winning the titles because it stepped on all those other guys' toes. I would have been more okay had New Day come in and done it, because they're actually, guys that's been on the roster for so long and whatever, and they've been out of the title picture since, right after they secured the record. But I wouldn't have loved that either. I still think Enzo and Cass should have won it, and they may end up doing something tomorrow night. I don't, who knows? Tomorrow's Raw is going to be absolutely phenomenal. I have absolutely no doubt. And it just kind of is what it is. Let me just go through the show. Neville, I love keeping the title. I think him and Austin Aries had a great match, and it's going to get better. They're going to have more and more and more going down the road. Mojo winning, I even said he should have been on that short list. I said it several times, matter of fact, and I didn't pick him, even though I thought about it very, very seriously. But I just thought that somebody from Raw would win that, and that's why I went with Braun, with my sleeper being Sami Zayn. 30 guys. I mean, what are you going to do? Dean winning. I didn't get to see the match since they swapped it out with the women, which I love because the women deserve that spot on the main card for the push that this match has been getting. And I understand because they haven't pushed the Intercontinental title match as much. I understand why Baron didn't win the title and why they put it on the pre-show. And I also understand, and it makes sense, that they wouldn't change a title on the pre-show because they know that not a lot of people are watching the pre-show. But when the actual show starts, all eyes are glued. AJ gets that big win. I love it. I absolutely love it. I think it's perfect. He needed it, and they had a really good match. I mean, Shano is not even close to AJ Styles' league. We all know that. But they put on a show, and I was thoroughly entertained, and I liked it. The Chris Jericho, Kevin Owens match was really, really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it as a fan. And this is how I try to watch WrestleMania and then go back and think about it. There were a couple of different things that they could have done better. I didn't exactly like the spot where they kept putting their knees up like over and over and over again, or back to back to back. I thought that was a little overkill, but just little things like that in the match. But overall, I think it was a really good match. I think they could have had a better match had it been for like the Universal title per se, but it is what it is. Bayley's moment, I thought, would have been a whole lot better had she won the title and beat Charlotte and ended her streak at WrestleMania instead of just retaining the title, I should say. And it just kind of is what it is at this point. I can't wait to see where they go. And they got this women's tournament coming up. I know that's not happening until the summer, but you got to think a lot of girls are going to be put on Raw unless they're just going to make their own women's show, which would be kind of cool, actually. The tag titles, the New Day swerved us all because they come out in their tights. I thought they were going to insert themselves. No, the Hardys come out. And my big thing is, I don't like the Hardys winning the belts. They could have done the job here without really doing the job. Because I look back at like last year's WrestleMania. Kevin Owens is undefeated at WrestleMania. KO Mania 1, he didn't win, but he sure as hell didn't lose. And KO Mania 2, of course he wins. The Hardys didn't have to win the titles. You know, they dropped the ROH titles last night in a ladder match, and then tonight inserted into another ladder match and win the titles. The only thing I can think of is if they put the belts in the Lake of Reincarnation and they reincarnate those damn titles and get rid of those freaking red straps and do something different with the plates. I hate those belts. I hate them. I would have rather them stayed the bronze with the black strap. But now since they're going to change, I hate it. And I don't like the SmackDown ones either. Cena and The Miz was super over. Fans ate him up all weekend. Just loved it. And what happened. I knew that we weren't going to get a lot with Maurice and Nikki Bella because Nikki's hurt and she's going to take some time off with her neck. I feel like she's probably just going to retire very shortly because of the neck. I don't for a second buy the proposal because people were rumoring for it to happen in January. So I don't buy that being real. But it's a nice story for TV. And Cena needs to work on his proposal because that was awful. So when he actually does it for real, again, my words, my thinking, not anybody else's, it'll come off a lot better. Seth and Triple H. Seth sold the hell out of the knee, which you got to give him props for. The man knows how to work. The match wasn't what I thought it was going to be, but it was still good. And I'm going to go back and watch. I'll probably pick up from the Seth Rollins Triple H match on tomorrow and rewatch from there on the rest of the show, with the exception of the Universal title. I think I got all I needed to out of that. The funny thing about it, and I wrote it down, the Universal title was 4 minutes and 47 seconds long. I timed it. I absolutely timed it because I knew that everybody would want to know. And I haven't tweeted that out. And, you know, Taker's entrance was 5:22. Taker's entrance from first gong until his music stopped playing was 5 minutes and 22 seconds. Crazy. Anyway, the Seth winning was perfect. That's what needed to happen. Stephanie going through a table scared me. As a former performer, it scared me because of how she went through it, how she landing on, basically looking like she landed on her shoulder. And that's a great way to pop out a collarbone. I almost broke my collarbone landing on my shoulder in a match years ago, and there's still a big knot. I think I dislodged or dislocated some of the bones up here, and it hurts all the time. And I just hope that she doesn't have that pain. But then again, I can't afford surgery, but she can. That I do know. Randy Orton wins it. It sucks. I wanted Bray to have a longer title run. I actually expected way more out of this match. I was really disappointed. But having to follow everything that they followed, I mean, WrestleMania is just, it's so hard to just keep upping everybody's game. It's so hard to do. That's why the main event fell completely flat. It just is what it is. Almost 5 minutes, like I said, for Bill and Brock. Brock wins. Brock nearly screwed up big time when he leapfrogged Bill going for the spear because he caught his foot, and that could have been bad. Had he caught both feet, Brock would have went face first, head first, landed on top of his head. You know, that would have sucked. The Naomi winning was good. I thought once I found out that they changed and they put it on the main card, I thought, I bet they're doing it just for her promo or just for her entrance, just so you can feel the glow, which is nice. That's part of her gimmick, or that is her gimmick basically, and so I had no problem with that. And plus, I thought they deserved that spot to begin with, to be on the main card, because these girls have worked hard and put the time in, and Naomi especially, going out with an injury and working hard to come back. No, I don't know how bad the injury was. If it was even an injury, maybe she just needed to take time off. I don't know, and I don't want to speculate, and I'm sorry for even starting to. But Naomi comes back, gets the title. You know, it's perfect. It's beautiful. I have no problem with it. And Taker reigns. The match fell flat. The ending was really good. There were a couple of spots though in the match that was really good. I just wish Reigns would have went like full heel. But there was a moment where the camera zoomed in on Reigns, and he was like, "Just stay down, just stay down." And I stopped everything that was going on at the party and said, Roman Reigns is going to win this match, and here's why. And it didn't play out exactly like I thought it would, but it still went with Roman Reigns hitting a spear, a very impactful spear, and then and yeah, they botched the finish, and then they redid it. And Roman botched, almost dropped Undertaker on his head a couple of times, trying to reverse the tombstone. That is very hard to do. And I'm not going to bury him for it, but that is very, very hard to do. Reigns wins. He needs to go heel. And he needs to be a cocky, I'm the one that retired The Undertaker. And that needs to be what he says tomorrow night. That needs to be the first thing, actually, I think, that he says. If I'm a writer, that's what I'm telling him. Or if I'm Vince, I'm telling him that's the first thing you need to say. And you need to start off Monday Night Raw. And then you need to demand to get a title shot. Because beating The Undertaker and retiring him proved that he deserved it. Or his character, anyway. Character-wise. Undertaker retires. I think it's overdue. But I love that the announcers, they laid out, they let the story play out like they needed to on camera. I thought it was funny how we went to, the match is over, Taker gets up, and then they cut to replays. I guess it was replays, and I think it was, or maybe Roman, he had already went up the ramp. I'm pretty sure it was replays. And then you come back and Taker is in the ring with his hat on and his coat. And then eventually he pulls his gloves off and lays them down, takes the jacket off, folds it up, takes the hat off, and then walks out, raises the fist, and goes down back to hell. I don't know. Like I said, I didn't hate WrestleMania, but I didn't love it. I liked it. And it was better than I thought it was going to be. I was thinking, man, if this thing turns out to be a 5 out of 10 show, then we're going to be extremely lucky. They exceeded my expectations. So you got to give them credit. I do anyway, and I will. And I'll be the first one to admit that I didn't think it was going to be as good as it was. And hey, it was a pretty good show. Even though I didn't like the Hardys coming in and winning, that was still a good moment for the show. You got to remember, this is entertainment first now, I guess, instead of pro wrestling first. But anyway, so that's all I've got. I think I've thoroughly went through everything. I will ask you to be on the lookout for Wrestling with Chaos number 2, podcast number 2, dropping on Wednesday, I hope. Watch my Twitter, and I'll let you know. For now, WrestleMania's over. Deuces. Chaos is out. See you tomorrow.